Majesties invite into their court the heirs to the Falcon Throne, Crown Prince Agamemnon and Crown Princess Marie.
Morning, children. It's not too early for you.
Here opens the court of their Majesties Logan and Ilva. Their Majesties bid the populace take their ease.
Morning, everyone.
Good morning, Your Majesty.
I'm so glad to see you here on this auspicious occasion. We are so happy to be able to celebrate Clothiers again. It's always been an event I have enjoyed attending just because of the enthusiasm that everyone has and the absolute expertise that is shown off in all manners of making clothes and shoes and all accessories. Yes, must have the accessories. You want to say anything?
No, we do have some important business to take care of before the classes begin. And I hope everyone's ready.
I hope so. Please.
The Society created the Order of Chivalry, which consists equally of the Knights and Masters of Arms, to recognize outstanding martial achievement and the attainment of those qualities and abilities which are a mark of a peer. While they are mighty warriors, they are also skilled in the arts and have given of their time to the benefit of the common weal. As such, they have been recognized as peers of the realm. Their Majesties now call before them the Knights and Masters of their Order of Chivalry of Calontir here assembled, and welcome all other members of the Order of Chivalry here present who wish to attend.
Sir Xerxes, in our court at coronation, you came before us begging a boon. As it was right and true, we will so honor that request. And now we ask you, good knights, have the candidates been properly prepared as fits the rights and customs of our kingdom?
Your Majesty, Orren and Erik will stand vigil and have been properly prepared as benefits this August order.
Thank you, Sir Marin. Good Herald. Please call forth the candidates.
The Crown now calls the Honorable Lords Erik and Orren Tokesson to come into their court.
Erik, Orren, let us now hear your work to seek this high estate. Is there a member of the Order of Chivalry who would speak on behalf of these men's chivalric graces?
Your Majesty, if I may. Orren, you asked me to speak on you, and I'm not going to lie, it took me a while to think about this, but really what it boils down to is, out of everyone who authorizes in fighting, 1 in 10 will reach the pinnacle. Will reach knighthood like you have, or chivalry like you have. That's something really to think about. This is a 1 in 10 truly a unique member of the society making this choice. But in doing that, you are also an example to everyone of what that pinnacle is. Be chivalric in all your actions as you have been with me, and I will have no issue at all giving you everything I can as your friend here. Thank you.
Erik, you asked me today to speak to you of being a knight. I can't do that. What I'm going to speak to you about is being knightly. Any man or woman can be a knight. It just takes time and effort. Being a knight does not make one knightly. Being knightly means defending the weak and being feared by the wicked. Being a knight is about how you treat others, even those outside your circle, especially those outside your circle. Being knightly means putting others above yourself. Being a knight is easy. Being knightly is hard, and it should be. My advice to both of you, be knightly.
Is there a member of the ancient and honorable Order of the Laurel who would speak on behalf of these men's knowledge and abilities in the arts and sciences?
Your Majesty, Erik, Orren. When most think of chivalry, the chivalry of a knight, they reflect on the deeds and the courtesies facing on the tournament field. While I've witnessed the deeds of these gentlemen on the field, I've also witnessed deeds of chivalry off the field. I have known both of the candidates since they were young children, and I am honored to say that I had the opportunity to watch them grow not only physically, but as chivalrous men as well. They understand that chivalry is also taking time to share the knowledge and the skill set with others both on and off the field. They understand that chivalry is putting the greater good before the wants and needs of themselves. They understand that chivalry, it can sometimes mean doing the dirty jobs or taking the unpopular viewpoint when they'd rather hang out with their friends or just go along with the crowd. They understand that chivalry is stepping up to help in the greater scheme of things, stopping on the way past to help a gentle carry in items they need, or a simple act of opening the door for someone as they enter the room. And last but not least, they understand that chivalry is the act of treating others with courtesy and respect, treating others as well, if not better, as that you would like to be treated. Your Majesties, I have witnessed these deeds and more, and I proclaim that these candidates are my equals, and they are deserving of the title Knight of the Society.
Thank you. Is there a member of the Right and Noble Order of the Pelican who would speak on behalf of these men's dedication and service to Calontir and her people?
By your leave, your Majesties. Orren, as a member of the chivalry, you serve as a representative of Calontir within the kingdom and throughout the known world. You have served your crown and kingdom on the battlefield of Clothiers, Baltimore, and Estrella. Not only have you served on the battlefield, you have provided steadfast counsel to those in your shire and a strong back when called upon to perform duties as a guard and retainer. Thank you for being a pillar of our generation and being my peer. Your Majesties, I have words from Baroness Aoth, who unfortunately could not make it this day. For Erik, before you stands a knight that has proven himself to be loyal and true. He has carried my lance, taken care of my horse, and given me space for my thoughts. I have seen him take care of others, as well as fight honorably on the field. His service is often very different from my own, but is no less important in the continuance of this dream of ours and our wonderful Calontir. I welcome him as a brother peer. Oh, I have more. Sorry, Majesty.
Of course she does.
It's not me, it's Aoth. Erik, my dear friend, thank you for your friendship, your laughter, and your support. I do not have the words to adequately express how happy and proud I am for you. Right now, I'm deeply saddened I cannot be here to give these words in person. But know that my friendship went into every stitch of your belt and every thread of your chain that is now on your cloak. I will give you a real hug soon enough.
Is there a master of defense who would speak for these men's perseverance and determination?
With your permission, I would, Your Majesties. Perseverance, determination. My first memories of these young men, as they are truly still, at least from my vantage point, young men, was certain young men in my household coming back and complaining about those Toki boys. Yet they're still here. They're doing the things to become full, top-level members of our society, and we welcome them.
If there were a royal peer who would speak for these men's courtesy,
I would speak. With your permission, Your Majesties. Please. The young men sat at my feet when I was king. Boy, I feel old. I speak for the royal peers today, and the first thing I want to say is welcome to you both. You have taken upon yourselves to accept the accolade of our liege lord and lady queen that have offered it to you. You each have chosen a path you wish to follow, and I commend you on it. I am proud of your choices. I am supposed to give you some worldly advice. This is really good. I'm not sure what I can give. In all honesty, I have a hard time with that. I will tell you this, though. It is often said that the people are what makes our society. Without the work of all, we are poor indeed. Peers help to keep the society running, not just through their own hands-on work, but by being the quiet consultants and guide when needed, striving to uphold the laws and traditions of our kingdom, and finally, but very importantly, by being a living example of what our society ideals really are. Understand this truth. While a royal peer only sits the thrones for a short while, every peerage continues on, and no monarch can accomplish their work without the peers there to support them. Remember this as you walk the path you both have chosen.
Is there a member of the populace who would speak on these men's behalf?
Erik Moore. I've watched you for 33 years. I couldn't be proud of it. Sorry. I have bad words, but there are no words to show how much we all care about you. We love everything done. We've watched you grow. Amazing men. I love the fact that you love the work side of it, but you play hard. Especially Orren. Don't ever lose that. There's any advice that you don't ever lose that. Don't ever lose sight. Majesties, I cannot give you greater words than what has already been spoken. No, they have the heart of problems.
Majesties. So it's been my privilege to know Erik and Orren since they were boys, like everybody else. With bells tied to them to warn the populace of their passing. But they aren't boys anymore. Instead, we find two men receiving an accolade that ultimately makes its oath to that same populace that was warned of their coming. So, this circle of peers will change. That throne will change with the seasons, but the populace remains the same. And I think it's kind of fitting that now, if they hear the faint sound of a bell. Instead of being warned, it'll help us.
We accept these words of your word, and now ask each of you, is it still your intent to withstand the trials of a vigil and seek sage counsel from our peers and populace once you become members of the Order of Chivalry this day?
Which path of chivalry will you conduct yourself upon, weaving the history of Calontir with each step you take? Erik, know that to be a knight is to be bound in homage and fealty to the crown. This estate is not to be taken lightly nor accepted without the foreknowledge of its expectations.
In the beginning, no one was higher than any other, for all struggled equally in the fight to survive. But when envy and covetousness came into the world, and might triumphed over right, certain warriors were appointed as guardians and defenders of the weak and the humble.
Indeed, who amongst this order will speak of the chain?
Erik. The chain is a symbol of truth to the crown. It also represents the brotherhood of chivalry. The chain is made of individual links together to strong. Each chain is never ending, as in your fealty to the crown. It's only strong as the weakest link. It's only stressed enough to change the broken.
Erik and Orren, you have been deemed fit for this high estate by your peers. You will be duly invested with the ancient and traditional trappings befitting your station, and you have indicated your willingness to accept the accolade of peerage from our hands. Please support our sword. Do you, Erik and Orren Tokesson, vow by all you hold sacred, true, and holy that you will loyally support and defend the crown and kingdom of Calontir?
Do you vow to honor, defend, and protect all of those weaker than yourself, forgetting not the humble and the meek?
Yes. Do you vow to conduct yourself in all manners as befits a member of the chivalry, remaining forthright, steadfast, and true in all ways?
Do you vow to uphold in your heart the noble ideals of chivalry to the benefit of your own good name and for the greater glory of Calontir?
Then if you have sworn these solemn oaths, accept from our hands the accolade of peerage and be admitted into our order of chivalry as a knight and a master of arms. May your shield ever be raised in the defense of the innocent and the virtuous. We dub you once. May your sword ever strike the unjust and ignoble. We dub you twice. And may your eyes clearly see the difference
We dub you knight.
And master.
Sir Erik, we are pleased to accept your oath of fealty at this time.
Here do I swear a lawful oath upon the sword.
Here do I swear a lawful oath on the sword.
I will protect, defend, and serve
I will protect, defend, and serve
Calon law,
the Calontir,
Kunun Gatal, and Kunun Riki. I vow to maintain the world as we know it,
I vow to maintain the world as we know it,
to be the shield of the innocent
to be the shield of the innocent
and the sword of justice,
and the sword of justice,
and bring word fame to all Vidara
and bring word fame to all its army,
by my deeds in warplay,
by its deeds and honor,
as long as folk kindle fire,
as long as folks kindle fire,
ships sail,
ships sail,
child calls to mother,
child calls to mother,
the sun shines,
the sun shines,
and as long as the falcon flies the long spring day,
and as long as the falcon flies the long spring day,
with a fair wind behind him on wings outspread.
with the fair wind behind him on wings outspread.
So swear I.
So swear I, Erik Tokesson.
Your oath we hear. We vow you shall always have a place in our hall.
We will demand your rightful weregilt should you be harmed.
We will reward you with gold or with steel as you have earned.
As long as folk kindle fire, ships sail, child calls to mother, and the sun shines. And as long as the falcon flies the long spring day, with a fair wind behind him on wings outspread,
So swear we, Logan, Kunun.
Ilva, Dortmund. Master Orren, as you have chosen the path of Master of Arms, will you swear your fealty at this time?
It pleases us. We will accept your fealty.
This day I do homage and swear fealty
Say, that you swear homage and fealty
to the crown of Calontir.
to the crown of Calontir.
I herewith give my oath to support
I herewith give my oath to support
the ideals, laws, and customs
the ideas, laws, and customs
of the society,
of the society,
to loyally defend and uphold
to loyally defend and uphold
the crown and the kingdom,
the crown and kingdom,
to faithfully support my liege lord and lady,
to faithfully support my liege, lord, and lady,
to action and counsel,
to action and counsel,
body and mind,
body and mind,
and to ever and always
and to ever and always
strive to be good and true.
strive to be good and true.
Upon the sword, thus swear I.
Upon the sword, thus swear I, Orren Tokesson.
Your oath we hear. We vow you shall always have a place in our hall.
We will demand your rightful weregilt should you be harmed.
We will reward you with gold or with steel as you have earned.
As long as folk kindle fire, ships sail, child calls to mother, the sun shines. And as long as the falcon flies the long spring day, with a fair wind behind him on wings outspread,
So swear we, Logan, Kunun.
Ilva, Dortmund.
In token of that oath which binds you to us and us to you, knight and master to crown, crown to knight and master. Accept from our hands these chains, symbolizing that bond.
Wear it always to remind you of your pure vows and heavy responsibilities. Never forget the burden of this chain.
Erik, you have chosen the path of the sword, and it is by the sword that you shall be known. The sword is the weapon of a knight, and its use has more meaning than that of a commoner. Who will speak on the sword of a knight?
I will, Your Majesty.
Erik, this is the sword of the knight. This sword was forged for you by Sir Elric Fury, first thane of the Outlands. This is the sword of the knight. It has never been, nor should it ever be, a plowshare. You will use this weapon to defend your crown and kingdom. This is the sword of the knight. There are two edges to this blade. The first edge seeks truth, because every peer should always seek truth before action. The second edge administers the king's justice, not yours, the king's, but only after you are positive all truth has been found. And the most important part is the scabbard. Because the scabbard counsels mercy. There is no justice without mercy. This is your weapon to protect the kingdom. This is the sword of the knight, forged for you by Sir Erik. This is your sword.
Know also that your sword must ever be offered in the vindication of innocence and the defense of virtue, for a knight must always champion that which is good and true.
Orren, you have chosen the path of a master of arms. As fealty is now a choice to you, you must adhere to the laws of the kingdom. This long sex is also a weapon, and may only be worn in front of the crown and in their presence while you are in fealty. If you choose to swear this oath as you have done today, mean every word that you say, but always carry Calontir and her people close to your heart. This is merely a weapon to you, but see that you treat it with the same potential for good and evil that it can produce. This is not the sword of a knight. This is a long sex. It's a weapon meant for the protection of good and what is true, but not a tool for destruction and lawlessness. It's a wear of justice.
Who amongst this order will speak of the spurs for Erik?
I would, Your Majesty.
And I, Your Majesty.
Who amongst this order will speak of the belt and the baldric?
Please, I defer your image.
Erik, I would speak to you about the neck. The last of the innocents born to show your station. White for purity and innocence. You've sworn today to be a defender of the weak and innocent, something you can no longer claim to be. While this will be the object that people will recognize you by from yards away, wear it to remind you of that. Wear it to remind you of the weak and the innocent. Let this white belt bear the stain so they should not have to.
I can say I never thought I'd get that this. Sincerely. This simple baldric, upon which you will have, will let you be called Sir and Knight by people, and you'll get used to it. Fine. What this really means, though, is that every time you swear fealty, it was your choice. You meant those words and they were pure. As has been said multiple times, never let your oath be said under duress or falsely. You've made this choice and earned it. Thank you.
I understand that we are one.
I
Okay. Pardon? and baldric of white as an outward symbol of what you protect and hold dear. May it serve to remind you of the purity of your vows. And if you stand up, I won't be able to reach you. And who will speak of the cloaks?
We will, your majesties, by your leave. Orren, Erik, we bring with us a cloak and a coat for you both. Know that as you don these, you will feel the warmth and the protection they provide. They are also outward symbols of your heritage. Everyone will see this and recognize you for them. In that recognition, people will come to you. And you have sworn to protect and defend the innocent and the weak. So as you wear this, and as you feel the warmth and the protection they provide to you, think about what you can do to provide that warmth, that protection, and that safety to those in need. Erik's coat was made by a frieder. Eowyn did the embroidery. Isabel did buttons, and Catriona and Bert did trim that will be added at a future date. For Orren's cloak, Lyra and Neriri and Shyla provided.
Gentlemen, pick up your weapons. Now accept from us this buffet, and let it be a symbol of your willingness to submit to the crown's justice. Let it remind you of the vows you have sworn this day, and let it be the last blow you ever receive unanswered. Turn around. Calontir, your newest chivalry!
None could tell the tale of seeing him fall before them. Instead, they fell before should hear no more, the ring givers called this call before them. On this day, those that had taken the high seat of the Heartland, Logan and Ilva, smiled down upon Erik Tokesson. The Conan removed the axe from Erik's hands, and his tug-wife sternly told Erik that it was their word that he should no longer bear the weapon of their hussars. For the word made that he had earned across the land, he would be tasked to fight as a Bedari of the Heartland, for ever his right to bear winter's gird and saddle beast's bane, as well as the responsibilities of such stations. Horns of mead were empty, and a mighty cry of "Skål! Skål!" When this was done by their hand and Clothiers on the 8th day of Nori, during the time of Scandinavia, Logan, King, Ilva, we. A challenge beckoned here. Orren, Tokesson, Jotun chieftain stood before, hammer proudly raised, steadfast in spirit. Our hero charged forth. Dauntless was the attack. His blows were brutal. His mail coat slashed, shield held steady. Toki's son here rose, whetted axe and spear, with knowledge vast and skills unmatched. One bell thrust aimed true, the giants torn asunder. Home was he called, long roads well traveled, to Kumanyalar. His king, Duncan Bruce of Logan, and queen, Ilva Jonsdottir, to rejoice in our words. Expert in craft, avenging brother, wise counselor. Orren Tokesson, master of arms, elevated into the order of chivalry, defender of the innocent, idol of youth. We charge you now, teach and grow our sovereign lands. To the great joy of the throne and our people's will, that great acts shall be rewarded and noble deeds be noticed. Remain steadfast in service and generous of heart. Done this 28th day of January, Anno Societatis 57. Logan, King, Ilva, Queen.
The text in Erik's scroll was written by Bedari Hallgrim, and the work was done by Mr. Small. And for Orren, his lordship Atrox wrote the words, and Mistress Helena did the scroll. Gentlemen, these boxes are also for you.
But stay. We need you to go on vigil now.
The vigil ceremonies for Sir Erik and Master Orren will be taking place in this very hall, followed shortly by the vigil ceremony for Honorable Lord Hugo van Harlem. Any peers wishing to attend these ceremonies are welcome to remain. Other members of the populace are kindly invited to partake of the many classes being offered at this year's Clothiers.
So good chivalry, if you would help us clear the hall.
Clear the hall.
This closes the
Get out!
Their Majesties Logan and Ilva. Long live the king!
Long live the king!
Long live the queen!
Long live the queen!
Long live the prince and princess!
Long live the prince and princess!
Long live Kumanyalar!
Long live Calontir!
Long live the sovereign lands of Calontir!
Calontir!
Thank you all.
Out!